sport as we review the Hurling Championship through the eyes of Liam Griffin.
A father and son, they stood hand in hand as they watched Wexford play from the back of the stand. And the words that he said, I'll hear when I'm old. It is a beauty to behold when we see the purple and gold. Oh, purple and gold is my heart and my soul. From the men of today to the heroes of old, the purple and gold is the dream I still hold. It is a beauty to behold when you see the purple and gold.
This year's Hurling Championship was dominated by the colours purple and gold. One man who masterminded Wexford's success takes us through the key games in his usual colourful style. For Liam Griffin, outside of his family, hurling means everything. He's called it the warrior game. His team was well prepared, playing to its strengths in a thoughtful fashion, everyone aware of the goal he set, confident in their own ability, and ready to give one major effort to regain the McCarthy Cup after a gap of 28 years.
Oh, it's very sketchy. Plus, I mean, the first night Liam came in, we had a meeting and he talked for about 2 hours. And I just said, well, Liam done going home to the camera. There's one thing that can be a headache by the time this man is finished with us anyway.
I had great belief in Liam Griffin, belief in his philosophy on the game. And I knew he had something up his sleeve anyway. You know, even though things didn't work well last year first, but his approach to it and his professional approach, and I knew that this man was going to deliver the goods in some form or shape.
He done everything that he could have possibly done with us last year, and therefore if we hadn't won it, I don't know how we would have done this year because we couldn't have put in more effort, or we couldn't have done more on psychology and everything else, and like psychology, most GA people and even myself, I must admit, when I heard about it, I said, he's gone cracked altogether now. I mean, I couldn't believe it, but again, when we're done, I had a great belief in it, and I've been one of the ones that wouldn't have thought much of it before it happened.
He knows a lot about hurling, believe me. He's tremendous. I can't describe how much the guy knows so much about hurling. The passion he has for it, the hunger he has for it. It's been phenomenal. It's a pity he had been around for the last number of years. I think Wexford would have had a lot more success if he would have been involved. He's a man, all right, man on his own.
It is a beauty to behold.
At the end of the day, sports about friendship and comradeship, and I love it. I love the challenge. And some fellas say to me, "Oh, you're lucky to get out of top." That never would enter my head. I mean, I never afraid of a challenge. Life's about winning and losing. Liam Griffin was never going to stay winning forever. And anyone would think that's a madman. I would never stay winning forever in any sport. How can you? It's not possible. That's what makes sport so special.
Hello, good evening and welcome at this holiday season for our look back at the hurling year. And what a year it's been, in particular for the model county of Wexford. Very shortly now we'll be hearing from their team manager Liam Griffin talking about the great moments in a really, really successful season. But first, a look back at some of the high points of the championship of '96.
Limerick began their victory camp to the Munster Cup at 14 Queen, where Cork had never lost a hurling championship match. But that record was swept away in dramatic fashion.
Good decision. Down towards Cork's turn, getting inside for once, and further right coming across the track.
A week later, Wexford receiving their first championship win of the 1990s over their great rival from Kilkenny. A game made safe by Billy Byrne.
It's a great pass from Fallon. Beginning to come good now. Dropping it in. Billy Byrne's in there.
The hurling game of the year was arguably Limerick against Clare. The most memorable point being credited to the lion-hearted Kieran
thrown in. Giving it everything. Right inside, it's a goal! Kiko got the stick to it, and Limerick have the second goal. Just a minute and a half before half-time.
That same afternoon, Wexford emerged from 19 years in a lonely wilderness, defending champions on the throne in another marvellous encounter.
It's Henry. Hits it. Hitting that sideline cut brilliantly. Dropping it right in. Gary Lappin off the post. There's a square by Wexford. Wexford have rolled the glory days. Gary Lappin got the touch, and all of Croke Park has come alive. Look at this, Wexford people. Look at this.
While Limerick just edged out Antrim in their semi-final, Wexford were expecting a bigger challenge from Galway. Got a terrific goal midway through the first half from a truly emerging star.
Taken by Liam Dunn. They still have not brought on George O'Connor. Here they come into the attack. Oh, he's a chance! A wonderful goal.
The final was one of those days when each team was wished well by neutral observers. It's been a long time since Wexford and Limerick played in the McCarthy Cup. It was the day the Munster champions looked sharpest early on.
Once again, Mike Hurling going back to take this one. Here in the All-Ireland Cup final against Sarsfield for his native Kilmarnock, of course. Disappointed that day. Disappointed in that before. Looking for a third time lucky. As Mark Foley, a very Foley roller gets in here. Pulling it Patrick's well. And he makes it 3 points to 1. Back in again by George O'Connor. Knocked out by Mike Nash this time. And finally, it's Mark Foley. Back it comes here towards Larry O'Gorman. Going for glory. Is fully over the bar. John Kerry against Martin Story. Next it's Gary Lappin. Gets 2 Limerick men. Knocked in there. Larry Murphy's in there charging. Tom Dempsey's well. And it's a goal for Wexford. And Tom Dempsey scored. Wexford are back in front. Staying in the centre of the field. Kicked forward there by Mike Hurling. John O'Connor took off the blocks. To George O'Connor, his brother. Next Larry O'Gorman. It's anybody's match. Towards Martin Story. Story putting it away from Sean O'Neill. Succeeding. Putting in the shot. Putting it over the bar. It's terrific. Jerkosh popping up here at right corner back. Inside. Gary Lappin. Well away from Mike Nash. Scoring chance. And well chopped over the bar. Second point for Gary Lappin. Fumbled by Larry Murphy. Decisively away there by Steve McDonough. Missed by Rod Guiney. Taken up by Gary Kirby. Inside towards Big Owen O'Neill. Comes back towards TJ Ryan. They need a score badly. He's the provider. To hit this one. He misses it. Gets it back second time. Larry O'Gorman now. Going for the point. He's put it over the bar. They're waiting for it. They've waited a long time. This is what Martin Story has dreamed about. The team of 68 can take a back seat. It's now at the men of 96. Wexford are the All-Ireland hurling champions.
Liam, here we are, Christmas '96, and it's been a hell of a year for Wexford hurling. Could you ever imagine it at the start of the year?
Not really, no. I mean, you'd be crazy to think like that. Obviously so. We took it match by match, I suppose, over the year. But the great thing from our point of view is that I suppose everybody's tired and worn out after the Ireland final. But when you look back and think back to the early days of the year when, you know, what would you have given to have this? It's well worth it, and it's just been incredible.
Now, obviously, the win must have meant an awful lot, not just to Wexford people here at home, but abroad as well. I know you told me about a nun who watched it in Peru, for instance.
Yes, a great friend of ours, in fact, Maura Gallagher, who's in Peru, all over the world. I mean, I had letters from all parts of Africa, from, you know, Iceland, from Canada, from, you know, everywhere. It's incredible. For Wexford people abroad, just to read the letters alone, you can see how emotional it makes them feel, especially for home. I mean, I good sense of place and so forth during the year. And I think that people in Wexford really understand when, you know, a lot of younger people didn't understand perhaps because of it was so long since we'd won anything. But when we won this year, everybody kind of feels so much part of it. And the exiles, of course, miss home during times like that, so that's very understandable. But the outpouring from the exiles was incredible. I've some fabulous letters that I'll cherish forever from some of these people.
They even watched it in Mexico, I gather.
Yeah, in Mexico there's a priest there, Father Cody, and they watched it as well. A lot of people in Mexico watch it, and there's a few letters from Mexico as well. And it's staggering really, like how sometimes we undervalue the game ourselves. I mean, I understand that the Irish pubs throughout Europe, that they were glued to this game, and there weren't all Irish people that were in the pubs in there. And that, you know, the whole advent of the Irish pub scene in the continent, on the continent, it kind of brought its own kind of American football kind of atmosphere seemingly out there, and had a major following out there, you know, so it's not just ourselves. Sometimes we'd undervalue it, and obviously they thought it was incredible, which of course it was.
Many people have commented, of course, Liam, that it is really fitting that you succeeded Clare as the All-Ireland champions.
Oh yes, my father was from Clare, and I played for Clare. And I had a wonderful time in Newmarket and Fergus down there. We won a couple of a couple of county championships and a Munster club during my time down there. And I've marvellous memories of Cheer Clare and obviously marvellous connections. But to come so soon after the Clare victory, I think it was a great victory for hurling. The 2 years, for me, the 2 years kind of melt into each other, and I think the 2 years combined make it a wonderful time for hurling all round, and hopefully other counties will take it from there as well.
Well, now, bearing in mind that you had largely the same panel of players, why did it happen for you in '96 and not in '95?
Well, I'd say in '96, I mean, we evolved really. I mean, in '95, the team was, we were trying to build a team, and we had just started. We were trying to build our kind of a team, like Rory, who is now the manager, and Seamus Barron and myself in the backroom team. We were trying to kind of get a team together and gel a team together the way we wanted to do it. And, you know, it's going to take time, because the way the GAA runs its affairs, it's very difficult for minor counties. It's extremely difficult for counties that are not doing well. For example, if you get beaten in the championship in May, let's say, especially you in football counties, that's it. You pack up. It's like closing a shop at the high street. You close down for the following year. So therefore, it's so for the teams that are not doing well, it's increasingly more difficult to do well, because you don't get the exposure the same as the teams get the long run. So because of that, we hadn't got the exposure for so long. It took a while to build up and get our chance to build our team up. But we concentrated on the league last year, and we resumed this year after the summer. We really got our act together, and I think we had a new atmosphere about the team and a new atmosphere about everybody, and it built from there. And we took it game by game. And it wasn't any one thing that won it. It was a combination of 1,000 things that won it for us, in our view.
What were the flaws, Liam, that you identified, and what were the principles that you were trying to preach to your team?
Well, from our point of view, we were trying to preach belief. I mean, you know, we've been beaten for so long, and people that are beaten for so long begin to believe that they cannot win. And our lads had an attitude that, well, you know, maybe that we couldn't win. Not that they were voicing it, but deep inside them that they had this belief that they couldn't win, perhaps, because they've been beaten so often. And they had been there. In fairness to previous managers, they'd come very close on occasions. But we worked on that side of it, and we worked hard on that side of it, and then we tried to gain a lot of small wins ourselves through all of the matches we played last year. We tried to win everything that we could. And the belief suddenly grows, and we could identify, and we analysed where we're going. And we did some things, I suppose, a bit differently to see, like, what we could do to win. So we did lots of things a bit differently. And the combination of all those things, together with working on the belief, certainly brought us and gave us a new kind of steel and a new resolve.
Well, the first team in the championship that you encountered, of course, was Kilkenny. And you hadn't beaten Kilkenny in the 90s so far.
Delaney going by. Here's a chance. Looking for support. Here's Sean Ryan. He's tripped. He stays on his feet. And Sean Flood comes in, denies him space, denies him the ball. And this is a bit more like it. Chased by Billy Byrne. Byrne powerless to stop it. Comes out to Liam Keoghan. A mighty clearance on the left half back. That's a huge one way down there. Delaney in there around the house. Cherkush trying to stop him. This is PJ Delaney, and it flashes out of the bar. And this is a glorious spell now from Kilkenny for a changed team in the second half. They've got fire in their bellies right now. And it's the yellow bellies from Wexford who are now just a point to the good.
Edwin Fenlon. It's anybody's match here in this Guinness Leinster Championship clash, the quarter-final. Here's Story, and he puts it over the bar.
Yes, that could be a big move yet. His 5th point. Wexford leading by 3 points. Chased by John Power. John, who's been a through victim all week. Here's Larry Murphy. Murphy has yet to score in this tie. Lost the stick towards Adrian Fallon. Good shot. That's going to be a bar. The Wexford followers saluting the point by the referee's flare, who makes it 13 points to 9. Beginning to come good now. Dropping it in. Billy Burns in there. Burn the score! It's a goal for Wexford!
There's a serious psychological barrier about Kilkenny. I mean, obviously, it was obvious. And Kilkenny people, I see the people close to it said, oh, we had this problem, we had that problem. I mean, we had problems over the years in Wexford as well. You don't have bad Kilkenny teams. They've won Ireland 21, they've won All-Stars, we'd won nothing. So, no matter what they say, it was not an equal contest in real terms, because we had won anything. So, for us, that was a big obstacle. They would say, oh, well, we weren't this or whatever. But we had to get out there and beat them. And there was the big burden on our backs. But we did beat them, we beat them well, really, in some respects. But if Billy Byrne hadn't come on and scored the goal, we were in a bit of trouble perhaps. But it was a big psychological barrier for us, and once we survived that, I think we gained more momentum from there again.
This, of course, all has to do with I suppose, success breeding success.
Yeah, but I mean, winning habit it's like a losing habit. I mean, they're both, one is as bad as the other, or one is good, and one is bad. But I feel that when we were playing matches, that winning is important to us, and to stay winning as best we could, no matter what the game. And that made a big difference to us during the course of the year, because we only lost 2 matches in the entire year, so it makes a huge difference. And it's very difficult for teams at inter-county level, especially if you're playing first round of the championship and you get beaten. When you get a chance to win again, it's not in the following league. And with the way we run our affairs in the GAA, then we have a clash with clubs and county, and then what happens is you don't get a winning hand again. So some teams are a perpetual motion to lose. And that's a problem area for county teams.
But here's a 2-1 situation, and that's making it hard, so hard for Evan Morrissey, who does very well to block down that ball. Great skill and taking it up. Great shot by Evan Morrissey. A fresh air at the second attempt. In goes the full forward, Conor McCann. He's trying to kick a goal. He's got a penalty. Lovely skill by Evan Morrissey. What about that for a kick-up? He went for a goal. It was well blocked by Damien Contemporary.
The Dublin match was the one I was most nervous of all the time. I was really nervous with that match. It was the only day that I really felt, even through the whole series, that I was really nervous, because I suppose we were on hiding to nothing if we lost to Dublin, and because Dublin, let's face it, weren't expected to beat us after we beat Kilkenny. But the Dublin game was tight, and Dublin did well, and we could actually beat them.
A goal for Wexford by Gary Lappin.
We played very, very well in the first half in that game, but because we didn't play well in the second half, then we tended to focus on the fact that we weren't playing so well, and the journalists tended to say the game wasn't good, but we played well in the first half. And then of course Leash came out to the Offaly afterwards, and Offaly played a blinder, so it made us not look so good, and people said, oh, well, that was very poor. So that was probably the right lead in for us for the Leinster final.
Well, sport was on a high that particular time, mid-July, and much of the talk on hurling circles had been about the great draw the previous week between Limerick and Tipperary. Now remember that Limerick had come from about 10 or 13 points behind to draw that game. So now here you were, the following Sunday. I suppose a certain amount of the attention had been taken away from you because of all the talk about the Munster final. Here you were, sharing the billing, and it was live on television that afternoon.
Yeah, well, the great thing about that match for me was that the GAA made a decision to let both be televised, because I was worried that time they wouldn't, and I felt that would be robbing hurling fans. And also I felt that our game was due to be televised live, and what worried me was that we were going to rob hurling fans of the other game, and I think hurling people wanted to see both, and that was the great thing about that day, both were seen. Now, you see, traditionally everyone believes that the Munster final is better than the Leinster final. That's always been the case. Those of us in Leinster wouldn't always agree with that. And we would have a reason, maybe some of us, like, if you look into a Crow Park, which is not full, it never looks as good as a packed hurling or a packed Limerick. And I would argue that Offaly and Kilkenny and Wexford and Kilkenny and Wexford and Offaly have served up every bit as good a match, if not better sometimes, in the Munster final. Lots of occasions. So it tends to get overshadowed anyway, no matter what you do. They tend to think, oh, Munster final is going to be better, no matter what happens. But I think this year was the first time we got side by side, and people got a chance to see. And our game was an extremely good game. And both teams, let's talk about both teams, made a major contribution. Never mind the one. Both teams played brilliantly on the day, and it was a from our point of view, the fact that we beat them twice, we focused really hard on that, the fact that we beat them twice. We focused on the fact that we were going to put a game plan together which we felt would, give us our best chance of beating Offaly. And we talked about how we'd lay our team out. Don't forget, we made a few serious decisions for that match. I mean, as selectors, we hung ourselves out to dry. We moved Larry Garment in midfield for the Leinster final. And we were on a high decline. If we'd have lost, we said, oh, for God's sake, what the hell are we doing? We made a bag of it. But we went for a team that we felt could win. So we put that team to the players that this team can win.
Well, I knew on a Wednesday night I had an idea, and Ian called me over and he said to me, don't be surprised if we're going to be moved or switched to that. I tell you before the training was over. So when the training was over, then he came on, he said, Harry, you'll be in midfield. He said, don't say nothing to no one. I didn't even tell my own parents, So we kept it as a secret. I was delighted. It was a new challenge for me. Playing a wing back for the last number of years. It's changed for me as well. So I enjoyed it.
We've really got to get ourselves to understand who we are. Who are we as Wexford men? I mean, we're playing for a way of life here. If hurling goes in Wexford, our way of life has gone with it. And I genuinely felt, really sincerely felt, that if we didn't win something before the year 2000, hurling was finished in this county. And we just, don't forget, done the survey as well. We carried out a survey from the supporters club and the coaching committee where Wexford hurler didn't feature. Only one or two featured the top 25 sportsmen in the world. Even O.J. Simpson got in there, for God's sake, that famous man, and here we were with the whole satellite TV system, a whole different culture of sport, and you're into the virtual reality of sport now, where you can get a six-pack and play with your finger, so all of that's coming, and you can see it coming down the road in swarms of us, right? So we were playing for a way of life, and that's what I felt. So no fear, playing for a way of life, playing for our county, restoring our pride, bringing it all back home, or we needed to be who we were again. And only through the game of hurling could we ever do it. I mean, if Ireland won 5 World Cups in a row, you wouldn't get the season that's been seen in Wexford this year.
And so you headed off for Dublin, and at Scarna on the Wexford border, you stopped the bus. Now, what happened next?
Surprise! As they get off the bus, we're all going to get off the bus. I mean, everybody just kind of said, what the hell is going to go on here?
Yeah, we got as far as the border going into Wicklow, and Liam Griffin asked the driver to stop the bus. So yes, we saw him getting off the bus, and there was no problem. We were saying, well, what's he going to do now? I mean, what energy up his sleeve here now? And suddenly we all got off the bus, and he brought into a little huddle, and every car going up and down the road, going up to the Manchester stop, he was broke down, we'll run into our club, we'll get a bus for you and send it back. So there was maybe 40 cars stopped with us. And then Liam gave a talk about the blood in our veins, and about hard luck stories, and about the will to win and the right to win. And he was saying, like Limerick was saying, that the defeat of '94 was very tough. Others said if there wasn't hard luck stories, go back to Wexford since 1968. So if there has been a hunger, there couldn't be more hunger anywhere than in Wexford, which he was right about. And then he said, we're giving each other a promise here now that we're going to walk across the border into Wicklow, and the next time we cross it back, we'll be Leinster champions.
If I had done that my first few times with these players, they would have said I was cracked. They'd probably say I'm cracked anyway. To do that day, we were a family. You can't just recreate these things. We had grown together over 2 years. So what was being said felt right. You can't just suddenly launch off a bus and start making big speeches and nonsense. It was a family that had grown together. We were very close. We were like brothers, as we had said ourselves. We were calling each other brothers. So we gelled in. So this thing was possible to say to each other and really feel the connection between all of us.
Well, at times I did think he was bad. But a guy called Tom Williams, who has written the book, I believe when I met him first, he said that this man was a cardinal, but now I'm fully sure he's old man.
So you're really sort of playing that about psychological games, because at that stage it's getting your mind to start focusing on the match, even though there's maybe 4 or 5 hours to go. He's actually letting you sort of think about the importance of winning that Leinster final like this year.
Damien Fitzhenry, he did it in the semi-final against Dublin, but this is the real test. Fitzhenry hits it! Goal for the country of Wexford!
The great striking the ball, they got 2 penalties for the only goal, both of them. And that's why I feel Damien's contribution to Wexford hurling was quite incredible this year.
Joe Dooley, who sends it forward, looking for the pull forward. Joe Arity. It's the first time he's beaten Joe Push cleanly. Trying to get inside him. Push mans it. Manfully, and a save by Fitzhenry. Great save. Declan Pilkington. Back to Billy Dewey, who's satisfied with the point. Here's a chance. Wexford scoring McCarthy. With Tom Dempsey to his left. Bowley! And he puts it to the Dempsey and Shane McGuckian. Scooping it up. Almost shovel-like is Larry Murphy, who sends a ball straight over the crossbar. What a score! What a point! What a man! Larry Murphy. Back out to Larry O'Gorman. Larry sends it high and it's dropping over the bar. It was worth the wait, Larry O'Gorman. It was worth the wait. Shane McGuckian, the captain. Living in Wexford, a vet in Wexford, and he won't certainly want to lose to John Shaw. Lovely skill, and passing it outside. Chance here for Offaly, and they've got another point. Billy Dooley gets his second point. Offaly come once more. To Erity. Michael Dyke is calling for it outside. Erity getting it set to a push. Goal here. Oh, what a save! What a save! Back out again. Offaly keeping on the pressure. Tony Dooley has to go for a point. But my word, what a save by Damien Fitzhenry. Adrian Pender. Hitting that sideline cut brilliantly. Dropping it right in. Gary Lappin off the post. There's a square ball that's there. Wexford have found the glory days. Gary Lappin got the touch. And all of Croke Park has come alive. Look at this, Wexford people. Look at this. We continue on down at the other end. Joe Erity. Give it to Michael Dyke. Yes! Great goal! And Offaly now are the people jumping with joy. From one end we have a goal, to the other end we have a goal, and Michael Dyke is the man who brings Offaly back into the match. Back to Kevin Martin. Larry Murphy putting his head where nobody would be brave enough to do. Down to Tom Dempsey, sending it goal bound. Oh, what a magnificent point! Tom Dempsey! Can they hold on? Can the faithful county, the great county of Albany, respond? Blocked by Larry Murphy. The Wexford players are playing inspirational stuff. Martin Story, looking for the goalposts and finding the goalposts. Answer that, Offaly, if you can.
In the shadow of the bonfire, underneath the silver moonlight, we were singing until dawn. Baby, we're dancing at the crossroads, with the punching and the porter, dancing cheek to reach the pulpits, until the early morn.
My fighting memories of that game was the sun on our backs, the white ball, flying like mad, two teams playing fairly and squarely for every ball, battling like gladiators, tough and hard with each other and friends together at the same time, great respect for each other, wonderful crowd, Wexford people being delirious, the goal from the Tom Dempsey, being struck back immediately within 30 seconds by a brilliant goal by Michael Dyken, to come back again, and then suddenly the floodgates open and Wexford start to flow and there's balls going over the bar from every angle. I mean, even now the hair stands on my head just thinking about it. I mean, we played such wonderful, the kids were on the sideline with their faces, I think I can see it with their jerseys, and they're on the line, you know, we're going to win, the invaded the pitch before the game was over, and still we flowed, and the game kept coming in our direction, and we knew that Offaly were gone, and we knew that we were going to win the Leinster final.
Well, you're the author of the phrase that you used during the year, the warrior game, referring to hurling. And in that particular match, towards the very end, you were able to call on two great warriors.
I mean, that was a great delight for us as well, because we had talked about this before the game, that in the event of winning, and in the event of us going well, we'd have to win George and Billy on. We wanted to win them on particularly because of all their service to Wexford. And it was a wonderful, you know, with the crowd around the pitch and so forth, to be able to bring Billy on and bring George on and for him to finish up in the Leinster final, you know, on a victorious Wexford in the Leinster final. After all of the years, don't forget George was just 37 this year, and they've been hurling for Wexford since around the 14. You know, it's incredible, you know, for him to come in then and be there, part of the Leinster final. I'm sure he'd like to start it, but that was the way it was in the day.
Of course, you had a terrific captain as well.
Yeah, Martin was a fantastic captain. He's proved to be one of the great captains. I think in the last number of years, if you look at all the captains from all the various counties, there were some great captains, but Martin has to be one of the greats as a captain. And you know, his attitude throughout was tremendous, and he kept the players you know, he was great for morale and kept players going and so forth. He took his responsibility seriously.
I mean, the captain thing, I suppose, didn't really mean much to me until after the All-Ireland final, because it was sort of an ambition and a dream all along that you wear the Wexford jersey with me, because I grew up with it, with Mick Jacob and Jimmy Pender, like the two close neighbours at home, and I was always really, really mad into hurling. And I suppose the Leinster final, when I was handed at the Bob O'Keefe Cup, the captain sort of all of a sudden sort of come to life for me. Up until that, you were just sort of an ordinary player as such, and your only job as captain is, if you win something, you accept it, or to decide which way you're playing when you make the toss. I mean, that's the only extra job of the captain. So, I mean, it's a role now that I'm absolutely thrilled about, the fact that Howler developed, won the county championship in '95 and I was captain.
To see the Leinster Cup on the table, you know, just to see it there alone, because we'd often talked about it being there, but just to see it on the table was fantastic, you know, and the lads in the shower, and it was just euphoric. It was incredible. People trying to get into the dressing room, security men trying to keep them out, and, you know, and fellas knocking each other in the back, and we were all hugging each other and so forth. So it was just, every county should get the chance to experience it. It was wonderful.
It is a beauty to behold.
What do you do with leftover turkey? With Hellman's Real Mayonnaise, there are no leftovers.
Imagine an engine as smart as this. One which can react, respond, adapt instantly to changing demands. Honda did. That's why you'll only find a VTEC engine at the heart of a Honda. Drive smart. Drive Honda.
The X Factor. Cover-ups, the paranormal, mysteries, UFOs. We give you the facts. You make up your own mind. If you're determined to cut out smoking, ask your pharmacist. Nicorette. Enjoy life without cigarettes. New Strepsils Dual Action for severe sore throats.
So on to the semi-final, go with the opponent, but this was a much different type of match.
Well, to be honest, what I said was the classics are over once we played Kilkenny and Offaly, from our point of view. Because looking at the teams we're going to place, big physical team Galway as we saw, some fine hurlers, of course we're a fine hurling team, but a different style of team than the teams that either Kilkenny or Offaly would produce. We find in Wexford, the Leinster teams, you get classics between the Wexford teams because of our near neighbours, because of the style of hurling that we play. But we felt the classics were over once Offaly and Kilkenny were gone. It was going to be into a more, we'd have to be able to physically stand up to bigger teams from now on, because Limerick were a bigger team, and also Galway were a bigger team. But first of all, we were going to play Galway, and like you're talking about big men there, so it was going to be a different style of the game, and it was.
They've each had their moments so far. Colmore trying to advance inside Liam Dunn. He's got a few yards now, looks to be creative here. And it's very much up with him.
Liam slipped and Colmore got in behind him, and then we were very unlucky because John Corcoran couldn't get a block. Ball shot in under his arm, under Joe Cush's arm, straight into Joe Cooney, one of the all-time greats, of course. Close to goal, Joe doesn't miss him.
Here they come into the attack. Oh, he's a chance! It's a great goal by Rory McCarthy! Rory McCarthy! A wonderful goal!
Rory McCarthy is Wexford down to the bye-zone, and a bye-zone don't count. Rory swings ahead, start with the game. And we don't know if he can sing, but it doesn't matter. But Rory's a fabulous one. We had a kind of a game plan for Rory, and to a T we carried it out. And that goal was a wonderful goal. The way he picked it and delivered it. It was a sensational goal, really. It was as good as any of the great PJ goals that we've seen. Right, the great goals of John Fry and some great goals from Nicky and all of that. But that was a classic to go in with the best of it. And the other thing too was the point afterwards was a beauty.
Oh, nice pick up from McCarthy. He completely sends his man the wrong way. That's a terrific piece of skill by the St. Martin's player. Meanwhile, it's Sean Flood. George O'Connor coming to assist him. Ball spills from his grasp. Out to Kevin Broderick, 45 metres out. Good block down by George O'Connor, but Galway still have it. And here's Colin Moore, and they have a man over here. Passes forward and stopped on the line, but it's belted in. Out they come for it here, and it's Micheál Donoghue trying to pick it off the ground again. Challenged by Larry Murphy. It's won back by George O'Connor. Adrian Flanagan next in there. Drop hit there by Micheál Donoghue. In towards Ollie Fahy. Jerkosh, the Wexford fullback, to Adrian Flanagan. This time to get much greater distance into it. And there's a problem. A real problem. Paul Finn was in there to challenge for that. Barry Byrne inside of that full forward position. And Wexford followers feel they're on their way to the All-Ireland final.
The goal was everywhere to be seen. It was on chimney pots, it was on gates in gardens.
On donkeys, on roofs and buildings. I mean, there was purple and gold. I mean, incredible things with purple and gold. I mean, it was just unbelievable. In the chapels at Mass and Sunday, the flowers started to become purple and gold. It was just, you know, I don't know, you know, if you got down to write this summer, like, if you wanted to write the summer and you actually tried to manufacture it, you wouldn't write a better summer than this in Wexford. And that momentum was building up, and there was a whole county craving for an All-Ireland final. My biggest worry was listening to the fans, though. We're saying, well, lads, you've done so well, it doesn't really matter. You've done so well, it doesn't really matter. That was the one that was worrying me, and we used to say that to the players non-stop. Everyone says you've done so well, it doesn't really matter. Does it matter? And that's what we have to say to the players. Does it really matter? And to us, yes, it mattered. We felt that the supporters now, having been tough on us for years, had suddenly got great Leinster final, had got a great Leinster final, and as a way of kind of being nice to fellas, saying, oh, you'll be grand, you'll be grand. But we didn't think like that. We wanted to win the All-Ireland. We weren't grand at all. We wanted the whole way now or nothing.
So now down to the last two, Wexford versus Limerick.
Well, we felt we put in the game plan for every single game. We have to have a game plan for every game. I don't believe that with the resources that we had, we could but have a game plan for each game. So we studied Limerick team very carefully, and we set ourselves targets that we were going to try and follow for the Limerick game. And basically, we tried to do that, build it up, get it across to the players, talk about ourselves, agree it, and then go out and try and do it on the day.
Well, in the build-up to many finals, of course, there are hard luck stories. There was Father Iggy Clark for Galway in 1980, Martin Chauvelin for Donegal in 1992, and this time it was the turn of Sean Flood.
Well, I had him out for a fitness test during the week, and we didn't want to tell Sean Flood he wasn't playing down in the final. We wanted Sean Flood to tell us. We wanted him to come to it himself. We wanted him to just realise it himself. For our own reasons, we wanted Sean to arrive at the decision, you know, rather than us make it for him. But we had him out for a fitness test on a Tuesday night, and he hadn't really trained well before that. So I knew it was a lost cause, really. And on that night, it was a lost cause. But we didn't want to say it to the chap, so we got a chance to come to terms with it.
In fairness, the selectors like they left it up to the last minute for me to. Liam said to me, it won't be him or Seamus Barron or Rory Finch to decide whether the right player or not. It has to be me, because I told him if I wasn't right, I wouldn't play. Like, I mean, because there's no point. I mean, as much as you want to play in another, and you don't want to go out and make an idiot of yourself, like, you know, that wouldn't be any good either. So I rang him and told him, like, but I think he more or less knew before I rang him anyhow. But he waited to let me say it, so it was nice, like, you know.
How heartbroken were you, say, in the last few days, the Friday and the Saturday, before you went to Dublin?
Well, it's kind of hard to describe, like, and thinking back on it, like, I mean, if I told you the way I felt, you'd say, sure, that's the only problem you have a whole lot of problems. I mean, there was other people that, there was different tragedies and stuff that happened around that time, and I remember saying to myself, like, you know, it's not bad at all when you compare to that, but in my case, like, none of them things had happened to me, so to me, like, it was, like, a tragedy or something like that. I was totally devastated now, and couldn't describe, I couldn't believe that I would feel as bad as I did feel, like, you know, I didn't think it, I knew it meant a lot to me, but I didn't think it meant that much to me, like.
Well, his bad luck was clearly Georgie's good luck.
Again, I mean, this is the fairy tale of Wexford Hurling this year. I mean, this is an incredible story, like. It's absolutely an incredible story. Like, Sean Flood goes out, Georgie O'Connor, one of the greatest hurling men. I mean, Georgie has to be one of the greatest hurling men of all time. I know some people think I go overboard with George, but George has got to be one of the all-time greats of all of the sports. You can put him in with the Rings and the Mackies, and, you know, there's a lot of legends to inside in the hurling game. George is a legend, like. And he's nearly 37, and he winds up playing in the Ireland final because Sean Flood is injured. I mean, you know, who wrote the script? I mean, Royal Rovers, they used to write Royal Rovers. They never had a story like this of the Wexford campaign this year. And George steps in to play his part in the Ireland final and played it well. So it was a great opportunity for George. And that was his last game for Wexford as well. His last game of his life with an Ireland medal.
Did you know before Liam that you were going to play the Ireland final?
I did. He didn't know, but I knew. And Shawnee Flood probably knew as well. I was watching Shawnee probably first, and Griff was watching him. And Griff does a little bit of hunting, you know, in his spare time down here in Wexford, and he's always into this horsey business. And he compares sometimes us to these horses, you know. So he's thoroughbreds, exactly. So he was watching him. He had Shawnee out running in the field, and Shawnee was limping, you know, the Sunday before, and they hadn't told him, but I knew that if there was a chance that maybe Larry O'Connor would be put back half back and the brother might, well, whatever, the full back in his game. So I knew I might be in midfield. And then the guys who were actually playing for Limerick midfield would be strong fellas anyway, so it would suit me. And I did anyway.
Well, they're so fine-tuned training now that they have these injuries and pick them up on a regular basis. That's just the way it is. So there's no team without them. So you have to plan without your best player even. I mean, we went through a what-if scenario. What if Martin Story goes down in the first 10 seconds? Do we give up? Put up a white flag and go home? What are we going to do? Liam Dunn drops in the first 2 seconds. What are we going to do? There's no point in the Crow Park saying, if somebody had this, if somebody had that. We wrote all the if-only stories through the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. So we're fed up writing if-only stories.
Here we go! David Henry, Jack Sean Flood, Rod, Danny Liam Dunn, Colin Doe, Billy Morton, Martin Story, John O'Connor, Tom Dempsey, John O'Connor, Adrian Fenlon, and Larry O'Donnell, Rory McCarthy, Larry Murphy, Gary Lampton, Amos Scanlon, Dave Riley, Declan Root, Jim Burn, Shane Carey, Paul Finn, Tommy O'Harley, and the man at Desert Street, his name is Liam Gray, for the Wexford Heroes, one and all. Up Wexford! Over there!
With all due respect to Limerick, you know, I mean, everybody felt sorry for Limerick about 94. But from our point of view, 94, do you want to hear it? 93, 92, 91, 87, 77, 76. We could have trotted out a litany of those things. So we could talk and say, lads, listen, you know, we're all here with Limerick's 94. What about us? You know, what about us? I love the pomp and circumstance of the playground pitch. I think it's wonderful for kids. I can remember as a child standing in the Hogan stand, or in the Cusick stand as we used to stand in, and you know, waiting for the parade on the pitch, and all these heroes all going by in rows saying, look at that, you know, there's Jimmy Doyle, and, you know, picking them out from the stand, and, you know, those days using the margin of numbers, they just were higgledy-piggledy, and you try to identify them all as a small boy. And it was a wonderful ceremony. But in recent years, it's become fellas are having a chat, fellas are having a chat with the fellow 3 places up from them, so we kind of downgraded it by default. And I thought, but this is something special about Irish sport. And maybe it's not as sexy as some of these other things. Maybe it looks a bit old-fashioned for some people, but to me it's not. It's wonderful. Wexford wasn't a team this year. It was a county played a game. Literally a county played for Wexford this year. It wasn't 15 players or mentors, anyway. Everybody played their part. And the great thing was it was so inclusive. Everybody was included. Everybody played part of it.
Down towards Larry Murphy, having a big afternoon here. Getting by the jar. Michael goes back to challenge. It's still Larry Murphy. He's in the clear. He's got a scoring chance. And he's put Wexford in front. Once again, Mike Hurling going back to take this one. Here in the All-Ireland Club final against Sarsfields for his native Kilmarnock, of course. Disappointed that day. Disappointed in that before. Looking for a third time lucky as Mark Foley, a very Foley run gets in here. And calling it Patrick's well. And he makes it 3 points to 1. Back in again by George O'Connor. Knocked out by Mike Nash this time. And finally, it's Mark Foley. Back it comes here towards Larry O'Gorman. Going for glory. He's put it over the bar. Good point by the man who's now operating at left half back. Kieran Carey against Martin Storey. Next it's Gary Lapham against 2 Limerick men. Knocked in there. Larry Murphy's in there challenging Tom Dempsey as well. And it's a goal for Wexford. And Tom Dempsey scored. Wexford are back in front. Great save by Damien Fitzhenry. Drops hitting it away to the centre of the field. Kieran Carey wins the race. Here he comes again. Remember the point he got against Clare. Will they ever forget it? He's got another one here. Level for the second time. Kieran Carey's first point. It's a good recovery by Limerick after that goal by Tom Dempsey. Stalemate in the centre of the field. Kicked forward there by Mike Houlihan. John O'Connor, quick off the blocks. To George O'Connor, his brother. Next, Larry O'Gorman. It's anybody's match. Towards Martin Storey. Storey putting it away from Sean O'Neill, succeeding. Putting in the shot, putting it over the bar, and Wexford are back in front again. It's terrific. Great play by Kieran Carey. Up it goes towards Mark Foley, towards his namesake Barry. The Patrick's well man is on his way again. What a performance! 4 points for young Barry Foley. Getting the assistance here from Adrian Fennell. A booming one down towards Gary Lapham. Mike Nash in trouble back there, needing assistance. It's Gary Lapham. Can he swing the stick? He can. It's a great stop. It comes out from the stick there. Of Joe Quayle, and it's a 3 out. Wow, a point blank range shot. It should have been the second goal of the game. Eamon Scollin has been sent off in the 33rd minute of this final. We've had so much drama here. That's George O'Connor back there, foraging. Jerkosh popping up here at right corner back. Inside. Gary Lapham, well away from Mike Nash, scoring chance. And well chopped over the bar. Second point for Gary Lapham. Taken up by Gary Kirby. Inside towards Big Owen O'Neill. Comes back towards TJ Ryan. They need a score badly, and he's the provider. First point of the match for TJ Ryan.
And when we look at John O'Gorman, and through the midfield he was storming, and then the Cusick stand erupted, when he scored from 60 yards, we were dancing at the crossroads, in the shadow of the bonfire, underneath the silver moonlight, we were singing until dawn.
I was just delirious with joy. Like, I mean, it was just, I can't describe it. I was so happy for all the people and for all of the older players, and you know, there's too much going on after an All-Ireland final. You want to take it all in, you can take nothing, and that's basically it. But to see us go over to pick the cup up, and to see the crowd around, and to say that Clare had just done it last year as well, and it was used this awful way. It was mind-blowing stuff, really.
So what's the story, man, story? Now what's the truth about the glory? And now that's the past birthday. Yes, everybody back for you. We were dancing at the crossroads, in the shadow of the bonfire, underneath the silver moonlight. We were singing until dawn.
in the room, the little room for the managers, and I sat there for about 10 minutes, and I had lots of emotional moments in there at that time. To be sitting in it was like a B movie, I suppose. It would be a poor actor sitting in an empty dressing room on your own with all the cartons on the floor, and last at last, and there was even blood on the edge of the side of the couch, and there was a bit of a hurl in the corner, the shower still running in the background, and just sitting there, because I knew it was my last day in there as well, so it was an emotional moment,
Well, they came from Enniscorthy, from New Russell, and Gorey. There was buses from Bunclody, there was horses, carts and all. And as they stepped out on the platform, there was shouting and screaming. And as they carried Larry Murphy, 25 feet tall.
I don't believe that Brazil ever got their reception from home. For real, I don't believe they did. I don't believe Argentina. I don't believe they did, because it was so authentic and it was so genuine. I don't believe anyone ever had a better reception than they've had as good. But not any better than what we had on that night. And to get up to the platform and look back at a sea of people all the way, and you're adding up all the people and you're going to more than the entire population of the country has been out for this. And that was just absolutely incredible. And there was a full moon on the same night, So like, there was a cloud in the sky, and it was bandy. Again, as I said earlier, the script, whoever wrote it, got it all right. I wanted my kids to see Wexford in Ireland. I wanted my kids to have what I had when I was a boy. To be with my dad, hold his hand, hold that go apart. I mean, they were incredible moments,
A father and son, they stood hand in hand as they watched Wexford play from the back of the stand. And the words that he said, I'll hear when I'm old. It is a beauty to behold when you see the purple and gold, the purple and gold. We're gonna be
I'm not a dirty player, never was, and I wouldn't like to think that I'm a dirty manager. That's not part of my management style.
If you need somebody to be roaring and shouting and breaking bottles and pumping the table, go out and play a championship match. Then you have an idea in the first place of fucking Bob has been out there.
Gary Pallister, who seems none the worse for that little scare earlier when he was limping. Here's Beckham. Oh, the whistle's gone. Stephen Lodge has reached for the top pocket. It looked as though the United man had got the better of the defender. But Stephen Lodge immediately blew the whistle. And then the clash which followed it may have got Beckham into serious trouble. It's a yellow card for Beckham. Well, it looks from that angle as though Beckham had legitimately got the better of the defender, but Stephen Lodge blew the whistle, and then Becker's reaction got him a caution. Neville, Keane, back to Neville, Beckham, back to Neville. That came off Steve Staunton, corner. Beckham with the corner. Ronnie Johnson up from the back. And wins it. Solskjaer. Keane kept it down. Cruyff miskicked. Pallister. Villa defenders look around and wonder what happened in that catalogue of events. Any one of 3 or 4 United players might have scored. Cruyff among them, and Pallister and Keane. He wanted to let it run, but he couldn't, and that's now given away to Townsend. Draper. Acknowledging a disappointed look at him from Churchich, who felt that he was in a better position. It's goalless in the first half at Villa Park, and Raymond van der Gouw will be grateful for the United defence in front of him, keeping his involvement down to an absolute minimum. And United go in at half-time, feeling that they have perhaps shaded the first half, which nonetheless has ended goalless. Andy Cole, a second half substitute for Manchester United. It's his 4th appearance of the season, all as a substitute after recovering from that bout of pneumonia. Replacement for Solskjaer as Villa kick off the second half. Neville, carried by Alan Wright. That's still in play. Draper. Brian Little took over at Villa Park in November 1994 and has done much to shape them into a team who look as if they could challenge for the championship. Staunton. No offside. Milosevic. Pallister in very sharply. Townsend comes up with it. It's Villa's ball. A good interception by Gary Pallister. Staunton. Churchich. Townsend. Here's Staunton. Goal kick. Well, Gary Pallister showing his worth at the heart of that Manchester United defence. That's found Dwight York very well. Villa's top scorer last season, Dwight York, with 25 goals. But it's 7 games and a half so far this season, and he hasn't yet found the back of the net. Milosevic. Draper. Here's Nelson. Dwight York. Churchich. Out to Draper. Milosevic. He scored both goals in the 2-2 draw against Arsenal. And that perhaps as close as Villa have come this afternoon against Manchester United. 32-year-old Van de Gaal with his first save. Cruyff. Giggs very quickly onto it. Giggs, Coles in the middle, off the post. Oh, Roy Keane trying to run it down, and now Staunton can clear it. That's out. Giggs with the shot against the frame of the goal. And you'd have to put that down as a good save by Michael Oakes, because he got a piece of it, he took a lot of the pace off it, redirected it, and the woodwork completed the job for Villa. Milosevic. Churchich wants everything. And he's got through. Referee has waved away any appeals for a penalty, and United may be suggesting that Churchich should have a yellow card. He weaved his way through a clutch of white-shirted defenders. Well, there was contact of a kind, but Churchich's dive didn't impress Stephen Lodge. Gary Neville hasn't had many chances to come forward from right back, particularly not in the second half. Giggs. Cole's header! Oh, back off the bar! Beckham. That's twice Manchester United have hit the woodwork in a half where they've had to soak up almost relentless Villa pressure. Churchich. Back heel, Patal right free. Milosevic. Draper. United have got it out. And Pallister's down in Manchester United's penalty area. Here's Giggs. Here's Beckham. Yes. Well, Beckham's wondering about whether he should keep the ball alive. Cantona makes the decision as the captain. Pallister is down and requires treatment. And United are wondering just how close they've got to come to scoring. Referee Stephen Lodge has reached into his pocket, and that's a card for Roy Keane, who now wants to come across and have a word with the linesman, who apparently has drawn the referee's attention to whatever it was that deserved a booking. All eyes on Gary Pallister requiring treatment in the penalty area, and something happening off the ball which has warranted Roy Keane being shown a yellow card, and Pallister will now rejoin the action. Fernando Nelson. Draper. Andy Townsend. Milosevic, here's Dwight York! It doesn't count. The linesman's flag has gone up. And what would have been Dwight York's first goal of the season, he's ruled out by the referee's assistant, who is subject to much abuse from the fans behind him. The flag against Dwight York, it may have been for offside or even possibly a handball. whistle. Giggs. Into Cole, his left foot. He was at full stretch. And maybe because of the stride pattern, had to take it with the wrong foot. Giggs threading it through. Well, these two teams took all the trophies last season. They're expected to figure among the silverware this season too, and that's about as good a goalless draw as you can get. Cantona perhaps not quite the inspirational man for Manchester United this afternoon that he has been on previous occasions. York with the one ball in the net which was ruled out by offside, and Manchester United can reflect that they twice hit Villa's woodwork through Giggs and Cole, but in truth in the second half had to absorb a lot of pressure. But maybe with Peter Schmeichel absent and the debutant goalkeeper Raymond van der Gouw in between their posts, will be very grateful to come away from Villa Park with a draw and a point. Final score here, Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0.
We're a little bit worried at half time, but at the end of the game we're pleased to have got something out of it, and for all they came the closest I felt to scoring, outside of Dwight's chance, which straight away I thought was offside and handball. I thought they had the better chances, so I'm pleased to have come through it.
They did twice hit your woodwork in the second half, despite all the pressure that Villa had them under.
But that's what they're about. They have such a variation to the play. They're capable of slowing the game down when necessary and keeping the ball, and then they counter-attack other times very, very quickly. So they can do either.
It would have been a choker for us to have lost that, having played the way we were playing in the second half. In recent weeks we've had games slip away from us in the dying minutes of games. So today I suppose we can be thankful that we held out and got the point.
I think we felt there would be goals in the game. So as I've said, sometimes it's a surprise. Alex threw something at me before the game just to put me on my toes. He said to me, you played well for 40 minutes last week, but Chelsea tactically caught you out second half, just to throw a little one in at me before the game. And I was thinking, well, what's he going to do now? So he's, it made me think a little bit before the game that he was aware of he was going to do something tactically different to perhaps what we expected. But we came out of it quite well, I guess.
Brian Little's talking tactics there, and Alan, it looked to me like tactically the two sides cancelled themselves out.
Yeah, I think the Manchester United away from home always defend 18-yard line, get men behind the ball, and so did Villa when into running possession. And because there's no space between back four and keeper, makes it very difficult and very tight. And what you need in those situations is your better players, your Eric Cantona and your Dwight York, that can create something from nothing, to do something inspirational. That just didn't happen for either player today.
Right, let's clear up the incident, the disallowed goal from Dwight York. A bit of confusion. Was it handball, offside, or a bit of everything, as Brian Little said?
Well, when we slow this down, you'll definitely see it's not offside. When Milosevic heads it here, we stop it, and you can see Dwight York behind. It's definitely onside. The referee's in a good position there, but I think that you'll find that when he puts it in the back of the net, the linesman puts the flag up, and he stands there quite adamant that Dwight York's offside. So I think he got that wrong, but they get their men because it definitely shouldn't have been a goal, because clearly Dwight York handles it. Comes past him here, the hand comes out, he brings it down, and then puts it in the back of the net. So it would be a little bit unfair if that goal had been given.
I know you never like saying good things about defenders, but today, surely, Alan.
Once a year I go big in defenders, and today was the day. Staunton puts it through, we freeze it here, familiar sight. Look at the whites behind the ball. But for once the Manchester United line is all astray, and what you need then is somebody to recover. Palliser comes across, that is an absolutely magnificent tackle on Milosevic. No room for error there. He nearly gets up quickly, and then he forces Towns in, and the defender is just magnificent. Brilliant. Not too bad at the other end as well. I was impressed with Gareth Southgate today. Nice United pass and move. We've circled Southgate and Cole. They watch Cole's movement. Superb. He just drags away from Southgate, then accelerates into the space, leaves him for dead,